Hello, welcome to the Knitting Project. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family and my animals. This is episode 140. I had looked as well. Memory of a Goldfish, and today is the 5th of March 2023. It is Sunday. I have a furry co-host. If I can, I'll do some video of her now so that I can insert it. Because she's not one that makes an appearance on the podcast very often. It is my cat Smudge, and she's taken to living in Demi's box. So Demi, where you'll see this, Demi normally sleeps in that box, but Smudge has evicted her. So I don't know how this is going to go. Not used to podcasting with Smudge in the room, so we will see. So welcome if you're a new viewer, welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is my podcast all about my crafting, a couple of weeks actually, because I didn't do last week because I was at Unravel. So I've got quite a bit to share with you. So I think this is going to be quite a long one. I have my Unravel haul, which I'm going to do. Instead of doing Happy Mail this week, I'm going to do my Unravel haul and then do my Happy Mail next week. And I've chopped and changed the knitting project a little bit as well. So, yep, we'll see how that goes. So if you are new, I do a rolling rotation of whips, which is over 6 days, not 7, because then I'm busier on some days than others. So, and I do a project for the day. So in this instance, day 1 is socks. So let me go grab those. As I go through my projects, you will see some of my Unravel haul. So, first of all, the first time round, because obviously I remember I have 2 weeks, so there's been a couple of times I've worked on these things. I worked on these socks, which is living in my lovely So Sweet Violet bag. And these are some hedgerow yarn. They're not roasted, jelly roll, that's it, jelly roll socks. And I finished my first one. So this is my take on the jelly roll. I do the cuff the same as the pattern. So this is a pattern by Mara Catherine Briner. And you do a double cuff at the top. And then this bit and the heel is supposed to be colour work. I don't do that. But I do a little bit of a twisted rib in the middle to simulate the colour work. And then I've done a contrast toe. So the first contrast colour is the rib and the second contrast colour is the toe. When I was choosing what colour to do the rib, I thought that the blue would stand out more. I'm now not sure. I think maybe the pink would have done, but either way, I love these socks. I finished, so the last time you saw this, I was turning the heel. So I finished the first sock, which is exciting. I needed another set of circular needles, so I knit my socks on 2 circulars. So to get another set I needed another 2 circular needles, which I couldn't find at the time. I have now subsequently found it, but I am in actual fact I moved on to something else, which I'll show you in a moment. So I will go back and finish these probably this week, because I love these socks and I love wearing them, and hopefully we'll get some spring weather soon. So, as I said, this is hedgerow yarn. It's a beautiful colourway. Smudge, can we not? I'm sorry, my cat is cleaning herself really noisily. She does that in the middle of the night on the bed, and it's, yeah, wakes you up. Right, and then that's one of the minis. That's the pink mini or peachy mini, and then that is the blue mini. And I have actually cast on the cuff. So I have cast on the cuff. We're just waiting to get the mojo back to work on that pair of socks, because I got distracted because I am a squirrel. So that was the first one. So the second one is part of my Unravel haul. So first of all, Hide and Hammer bag. I'm very much in love with this bag. This was a very indulgent, that's the word I'm looking for, purchase at Unravel. I've wanted one for years, and on the Friday when I went with my friend Sally, and she's got a lovely collection of them. At the time I didn't want to buy any yarn, or I did want to buy yarn, but I didn't know what I wanted to buy yarn for. And I was going again on the Sunday, so I was like, right, I'm going to leave the yarn purchases till the Sunday. And on the Friday, I literally bought bags. This is not the first bag you are going to see. It is the only Hide and Hammer one though. Right, so in here, Bird Street Yarns did an Unravel colourway, which I absolutely adored. And it's a hand wound ball because I sat in the marquee and wound it up. And this won't be the only time you see this project bag, because there is another sock project in here. They're kind of being kept together, so I can work on either of them if I'm out and about. So I also bought a couple of sets of the liquid needles from Coastal Colours that were there, so that I could cast these socks on. So these are the needles, and this is the colour, how it's working up. So at the moment it's a plain vanilla sock. It is going to be a long leg sock, it's not going to be a shorty, because I really love how these colours are working up. And I'm having, at the moment it's because it's winter, I'm wearing my longer legged socks, not my shorties, and a lot of them are missing. I did the Rainbow Chronicles socks, so that was 12 pairs of socks, 1 pair a month. Now 1 pair I gifted to Meg, so I have 11 of them. I have 6 pairs of them in my drawer. No idea where the other ones have gone. It's like, I'm guessing they've got borrowed, but I haven't got them. And then a lot of my Scrappy socks have faded because we've got really hard water here, so unfortunately a fade is a real thing. So I just thought I'd actually could do with replenishing my long-legged socks a little bit more. I'm the queen of the shorty sock. I love shorty socks. I wear them all the time. The only reason really I wear longer socks in the winter is because I tend to wear boots, and shorty socks aren't as comfortable in boots as the longer ones. So yeah, I'm gonna make myself some longer ones in this, and this is really pretty. As I said, this is Bird Street yarn, and it was their Unravel colourway, and I loved it. And that's, as I said, living in my Hide and Hammer bag, which also came from Unravel. So that's that part. So that's my day one socks. I'm going to leave that there because it is going to come back out again at some point in the near future. I have got coffee today. I need to talk to you about my outfit as well. I will in a moment. Oh, day 2 and 3 are around the wrong way. All right, okay. Got day 2 and 3 in the wrong, on the wrong hooks. Anyway, outfit. I'm wearing my Perec, and apologies for repeating an outfit because it is the exact same outfit that I wore on the podcast the last time I recorded. However, it's very much a favourite outfit, and I'm going out for lunch today and I wanted to wear it and I didn't want to have to change, so I'm wearing it again. Please forgive me, I love it so much. I really do. Now I've made it and realised how wearable it is, there is definitely another couple of Perecs in my future. But anyway, we'll get to that. Day 2 is my goose egg quilt. And I thought, as soon as it's the goose egg quilt, I should locate my goose bag to put it in. It is quite a nice large bag, so it does kind of work for a blanket. Now I'm anticipating that I'd keep my working square in this bag and then keep the squares probably in a different bag to kind of join together. So this is a bag by Anne of Busy Pottering. who sadly doesn't make bags anymore, but I love it so much. She did very kindly make me a strap for it last year, because I do love a strap on a bag, and she very kindly made me the strap. Yeah, I love this bag so much. So this is going to be a frequent flyer on the podcast, because this is going to be a very long project. So this is the Goose Egg Quilt. It is a pattern by Danny George of Little Bobbins. I am doing it as part of the club from Lay Family Yarn, but you don't have to do it that way. You can just use your own stash yarn, which I know lots of people are stashing it this year. So that's my square. So I did that triangle, and I'm now on this triangle, and I am unpicking from this one as I knit. So this is the one that went very wrong. So I'm just taking the green yarn off of this one now to add to here. And yeah, I'm loving it a lot. I like the colours, everything. I won't lie by saying I'm ready to be done with this square, but I have a lot more knitting on it yet. I am not going to finish this in a year, that's for sure. So yeah, I need to carry on with this. Oh, I think I'll be content if I get January square finished in March, but yeah, but now it's in the rotation, it hopefully will get a little bit more love. So I have popped it in the rotation. The yarn is as I said, by Lay Family Yarn, and we've got this lovely mint green. We have got a yellow, and we have a purple. So they're the colours I'm using, and I'm keeping them straight by using a little wooden colour tracker, which I mean I love this colour tracker. Let me just pop that back in there so I can show it with two hands. Yeah, so it's got A, B and C, D, E, F, G on it, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's my contrast colour 1, that's my contrast colour 2, so they're on 1 and 2, and then 3 is the kind of main colour. So I know how to keep them straight. And as I said, found this on the web. Honestly, if it's not the cat interrupting me, it's my watch. Yeah, I love this. So it's helping me keep my yarn colours straight, so I don't have to keep looking it up. And I'm using 2.5mm needles. These are signature needles. They're my special project needles, which I love. The pattern calls for 3mm. I've gone down half a size because I am quite a loose knitter and I like the gauge that I got on that. So that is my day 2 quilt. Oh, day 3 garment. It's going to take a little while. Bear with me. Oh, that coffee's so good. Right. Shall we just sort of neaten you up, seeing as you should be on that one and you should be on that one. Garment. So I am planning on wearing this next week. I was going to wear it this week, but as I said, I'm going out and could not be bothered to change. So this is the surgery I did on the sweater that I was talking about last week. So I have put a new neck on it. I love this sweater. I will wear it next week just to show you how the neck's worked up. So it's I unravelled it, which was a mission because it's got short row shaping on it. I did not short row shape it back up. This is just the way I'm holding it. It looks like it's short row shaped. It's not. And I will show you next week what it looks like. I much prefer the neck on that. So that has now turned that into a much more wearable jumper. And the return of an old friend. I have pulled out my Whitmore that I am doing, which is a Whitmore cardigan. Long-term viewers of the podcast have seen this on multiple occasions. It went on a hiatus over Christmas and baby knitting, and I have pulled it out again to get it finished because I want to start a garment for me, and I was a bit like, as much as I don't mind having lots of sock whips or blanket whips, because they're not really whips, they're just long-term projects, and things like that, I don't really want lots of garment whips. I have got an EDT that I've pulled out, which may or may not go into the rotation next. It might do, because I want to make another Perec, and you'll see the reason why I don't want to start that one just yet. So I might finish the EDT out. So I've been putting my whips away because we're packing, so I've been packing boxes, and some of the like the long-term whips I know I'm not going to get to, I've packed away. Like my anthology shawl, I'm not I'm not going to get back to that. I'm not going to want to knit something that size in the summer, so I've popped that away. That's gone. There's a little sock whip, which was a Sherry Iris one. That's gone because it's just a plain vanilla sock. I was like, well, that'll be quite a nice project to pull out as a surprise and go, oh look, that whole sock's pretty much done. So that's gone. And I was going to put the ED away, and then I looked at it. I was like, well, it's coming into ED weather. I wear them a lot in the summer, and I might actually put that in. So my other one I've got, as I said, is a Perec, which I'm not going to make right now. I've got yarn for an understated, yarn for another ED, and a colourwork jumper. Now I really wanted to cast on my colourwork jumper, and one of the things I went to Unravel to buy was the needles to do that. But again, I'm slightly put off by the time of year. But also the brain is going, well, knit it now when it is still quite cool. Well, we're supposed to have snow next week, so, you know. And then it will be ready for next autumn. And I'm still slightly sold on that idea, so that, because that's a Jen Steingas one. So I'm thinking that might happen. I might do that one. Also, it's commercial yarn, and I'd quite like to have some commercial yarn on the podcast as well. So maybe I'll finish the ED, and maybe I'll cast on the Jen Steingas one. Who knows? But before I do all that, I'm going to finish my Whitmore. So this is the Whitmore, is a jumper and a cardigan pattern by Amy Loudon of Little Tailoress Studios. This is the beautiful advent that I got from Dandelion in Dogwood in 2020, which I absolutely adore. I have finished the body. So on the strength of, I'm just going to stand up because I think it might be easier to show it to you. On the strength of this Perec, I decided I'd do a much shorter body. So I've stopped it there, and I'm so happy that I did that. It's a really nice length. It's got lace work at the top, and it's really easy lace work, and Amy holds your hand every step of the way. And you use stitch markers, and so you know if you've gone wrong really quickly, and it's lovely. I love this pattern a lot. And I got the bottom done, the bottom ribbing done. So that's the bottom. Let's maybe show it to you that way around for a minute. So that's the bottom ribbing. I got all that done. So the last time you saw this, it was there. So I literally just put some ribbing on it. Having enjoyed the success of this, I thought, do you know what? That's fine. I'm not going to go any further. So I've put the ribbon on. And then I picked up my sleeves to do my sleeves. Now this one is now done. I have done the bishop sleeve on this, and I love it. But when I went to knit on my sleeves, I realised that my needles had been chewed. Raven had got hold of this project, and I think luckily for me chewed the needles rather than the project. So I had to get some new needles to do the sleeves with. Luckily, the lovely Ellie of Craft House Magic has an amazingly quick turnaround on higher bamboos, which I love. These are the higher bamboos. I love these. And I ordered them, I think I ordered them on Wednesday and I got them on Thursday. It was ridiculously quick, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you, Ellie. And yeah, I've got that sleeve done, and I'm on the ribbing on this sleeve, so I anticipate this is going to be done, finished this week for the next week's podcast. And I love it. There is quite a few ends on the inside that are going to need sewing in. Quite a few ends, but that's what happens when you knit a scrappy project, so it's not something I'm going to worry about too much. But I love this so much. Let's see if I can't hold this with the neck shawl. Cardigans are just such a pain to show, they really are, but that's basically what it's going to look like. And yeah, I really love it. I love the back as well, it's so pretty. So hopefully next week that will be done. It's also slowed up by the fact that Raven also took apart my Kid Silk Haze yarn, so it's held together with the a skein from their Advent, of which that is the one I'm using at the moment, and a ball of there we go, and a ball of Surrey silk, and not Surrey silk, the other one, mohair silk, there we go. And I'm having to pull off small balls because this has been chewed. So this is very much a labour of love. It's not so bad now because that's really just the bad bit, and then that's actually in a ball. But this stuff is expensive, so I don't want to kind of throw it unless I have to. So yeah, so that's my Whitmore. So that I am working on actively at the moment as my garment, and it is living in a beautiful little bucket bag from my lovely friend Paula, who's got the Stitched by Mrs. D podcast. And I love this bucket, so pretty, but for obvious reasons can't really hang up. It doesn't really lend itself to hanging, so that one's just sitting on my desk. So what are we on? We're on, I need to restart that, and we're on day 4. So day 4 is gift knitting, and I have actually gifted the little bag I was making. There should be a picture. If there is, I will pop it in here. Yeah, and the recipient loved it, so I'm really pleased about that. So my next gift, I was umming and ahhing where to put this in the project, and then realised if you are knitting for something for somebody else, even though it's your daughter, technically it's a gift. So hanging out in my lovely bag from So Sweet Violet, I love this bag, is my new cast on, and it's a Perrick, which is why I'm not making one for myself right now. So hopefully I have a picture of the pattern this time, because I know I wasn't very good with the pattern last time round. Camera, gotta have a picture somewhere. There we go. So it's the Perrick vest by Orlane Sushi, or Sashi. There we go. And this is not the most exciting colour, but she wanted a grey one, bless her. So here we go. She wants it for school, for work, and yeah, it is the start of a Perrick, and it is super soft. Like it's much softer than this one. Now, this one's soft, but this one's much softer. I shall show you why in a moment. Yeah, so this is my gift knitting, and I think we can safely say it's okay to call this a gift. So I'm using Surrey, it's called Surrey Silk Cloud, which is 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 26% silk. There we go, from the little grey girl, and it's that colour. And then the lace weight, which is this beautiful grey, is from Dragon Hill Studio. It's called Heron, and it's 70% alpaca, 20% silk and 10% cashmere. Megan is never allowed to wash this. I have to tell her that, otherwise that's not going to work. And yeah, as I said, it's a lace weight. So there we go, that's the details. I need to change my camera battery or I'm going to lose this footage, so I shall do that now. and that is the colourway. Right, bear with me a minute, I definitely need to change this camera battery. There we go. There we go, we're recording. Right, sorry about that. that was close. My camera has a habit, if the battery dies when you're in mid-record, of not saving the footage you've just recorded. That would have been a bit of a disaster. Anyway, yeah, so this is it's beautiful, this yarn. It's got a little halo on it of its own. And that's the lace weight, which was bought at Unravel. So this is an Unravel purchase. I bought both the lace weight and the floof at Unravel. So they're the two colours together. Not the most inspiring colours to knit, but Meg really wanted grey, so she chose the colours. And to be honest, I love knitting the Perrick, so she doesn't want it any longer than this one, so that's useful. We had a family discussion as to how short-bodied we all are because of the Perrick, but yeah, that's a little progress keeper from So Sweet Violet on there. Thanks, Smudge. Just pushed my basket off. And I'm using 4.5mm Licky needles because that's what I knit this one on. The pattern actually calls for, I can tell you now, can't I, what the pattern called for, because I know I just used the needles I had with me at the retreat rather than waiting till I got home. Yeah, 4mm needles it calls for, and you're supposed to go down a needle size to do the ribbon. Didn't do that either. So this is going to be very much the same as this one because Meg really likes it. It was very wearable, so wearable. So that's my gift knitting now, is the Perrick. So at least I could slot it in because I didn't want to put it on the garment day because I wanted to knit a garment for me. So I was like, where am I going to put this in the project? I finished the gift. I was like, well, it can be a gift then, because it is a gift technically, isn't it? Right, so that's that one. I shall send that, take that back in a little while. So day 5 is Socks for Charlie. And that's a finished object. Where is my, I was going to say, I haven't got my podcast basket. Where's that one? Oh. Podcast basket. So Smudge has literally put that other basket where I want to put this basket. Okay, so my Socks for Charlie, I have finished object. These are the sock set from Willie Goodness Yarns, which was her Skating with Penguins colourway, which was part of her Grimbad collection. There are indeed two. There we go. I did a 1x1 twisted rib cuff because apparently I hate myself. Slip stitch heel, garter ridge heel turn, just did a wedge toe. They're done on no they're not, they're done on 2.5mm needles, 60 stitches. And yeah, I absolutely love them. I absolutely love them, and Charlie will be very grateful now that I've recorded the podcast and can in fact give these to her because she's had to wait for a little while. I have just noticed a drop stitch. Look at that, got a drop stitch just there. I'm going to have to fix that before I give that to her. I couldn't be in a more awkward place either, could it? Okay, I will get those fixed. So yeah, she'll be very grateful because she's looking forward to her socks. And then I found a pair of socks when I was going through my long socks that don't fit me, so I've gifted them to her. So I've called them her January socks, so that's her February socks. So I am now knitting her March socks. So they are also in my hide and hammer bag. The idea being, because these are both plain vanilla socks, if I'm leaving the house and I can't take one of the other projects with me, like I couldn't take the Perrick at the moment because I'm short row shaping and that wouldn't end well out and about. I can take the goose egg quilt, that's fine. My Whitmore I wouldn't take out either because it's fluffy, it gets up my nose. So I don't want to be in a close proximity of a car with that. My last project I can take out as well. So they're just sort of my grab and go. I'm really sorry, I keep adjusting myself. I've got one of those bras on that won't stay put. Dear oh dear. Right, so I am making Charlie's March socks in Les Family yarn in a zebra stripe from her Yarniac collection, which I renamed Christmas Crocus because I thought they were crocus colours, and that was her January one. And this is how it is knitting up. As you see, I've made quite a bit of progress on this. I have gone, I think this was my Unravel sock until I cast on an Unravel sock. There we go. I'm whizzing up the foot now, and I'm using 2.5mm Chalgu needles. I am hopeful that I will get these finished in March. That is the goal. I aim to finish these in March, but you never know. I've got a lot going on now, so I'm not quite sure what's going to go on with getting progress on these projects. You might have to put up with very small amounts of progress and just listening to me say the same thing over and over again. That's going to be thrilling, isn't it? Hopefully I say it in a slightly different way each time. But this is zebra yarn. So this is the zebra 4-ply. And I was curious to see how it knitted up. Well, it knits up like that basically. It's quite a not toothy because it's not rough, but it's quite a thick base. These are going to be super warm socks, so these are going to be really nice. She's going to like these. But it's, yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of black, so I'm not quite sure why I thought I'd enjoy a zebra striped yarn. I have one more ball that I'm going to use for her next pair, but I'm not going to buy the zebra stripe version of the Yarniac Club anymore. I'm just going to get the normal one, which I think I've already made that decision because I think that that's sitting down there for next week's podcast, and I haven't bought the zebra striped version of that one because my thoughts were I was going to use zebra yarn each time, but now I'm knitting it. I love the base, I love the feel of it. I'm just not so keen on the black, which, as that is the running thing with the zebra yarn, is slightly unfortunate. So that's my progress on those. Right, so day 6, which is Scrappy project day, is born of the podcast, the last time I podcast. So the 24-day socks have gone on hiatus, which is probably not the best news, but they have. I may get back to them at some point, but I have gone down a different rabbit hole, and that is living in this beautiful little basket that I got from Unravel, and I desperately wanted one of these little sock baskets. I've got some big ones, but I haven't got a little sock basket, and this already was yelling out for this project to be in it, even though I thought I'd keep a little pair of socks on my desk in it. No, it's this project. Any guesses what it is? Wow. Do you remember me saying that I wanted to cast on a Cosy Memory blanket because I'm gift knitting quite a lot of stuff now? Guess who just cast on the Cosy Memory blanket? So they're 20 by 20 squares, so they're smallish squares, and I mean they've all got progress keepers on them because you haven't seen any of these, but I'll go through what the memory is. So this was from, all of these are from my little bunny bag. So that one, little rabbit bag I should say, that one, and that one was all in the little rabbit bag. And now I'm just putting in the Skating with Penguins sock, because I just love some of these yarns, and because I'm gifting them, I'm not going to see the project. I mean, don't get me wrong, I just put stuff in of that I've made for me as well. That's going in here as well. But I love a Cosy Memory blanket. I love doing it. So it would seem that my sitting on my desk and being my grab from my desk if I have a couple of seconds on a phone call or etc. project, and my day 6 project is a Cosy Memory blanket because it's Scrappy project day. And then I'm making a little magic knot ball with my leftovers. So bizarrely with my little rabbits bag, all of my leftovers were pretty much 5 grams. And most of them were like just 5 grams dead on, so a lot of the yarn is not in this little ball. So the 5 grams I've put aside in my mini swap bucket, which actually means that I wouldn't use that yarn at all, because I've put them in the little bag and then I'm gonna put them in my mini swap so they'll go, and it was like, well, now I'm not going to have it. So the fact that I've done that, so I should say that it was 5 grams once I've knit the rabbit bag and I've knit a square, which is bizarre. So any little leftovers I have put on this magic knot ball, but when I was tidying up yesterday, where is it? Oh, I found that one. So I thought I might just stick that on there, and then I'm going to decide what to do with my magic knot ball. You see, my ends do tend to come undone if I'm not careful, which is fine on a blanket because they don't do it on a blanket, but on things like a pair of socks they have a habit of coming undone. But also I really fancy making just a pair of socks out of this, or maybe a funky cowl, just do a tube cowl or something. Yeah, so I'm going to add that one to that one. That's what I'm going to do. So I've got in here, I have got a little set of scales. So you can get these on Amazon. They're not 100% reliable. They tend to break really easily, which is not surprising since you can actually see the wires coming out the top of that one. I'm sorry if you can hear background noise. I'm fairly certain my husband's unstacking the dishwasher. I suppose I shouldn't complain about that. So I use these, I just keep them in there, and then I measure off. So if I had 10 grams left, I'd do a 10 gram mini. If I had 5 grams, like if I had 8 grams left, I'd do a 5 gram and 3 grams onto the magic knot ball. Just to use up what's left of my yarn. Now that one, I wouldn't do that with. That's going to go in the blanket, and then I'm going to make something else out of the remainder of that yarn because it's beautiful. But yeah. So that's also an Unravel purchase. That was a Friday purchase. As I said, there was a theme of bags on that. Oh, yes, I love that. It's a fun project. Right, so last of the knitting is my blanket, which is down here. So this is hanging out in my sheet bag from my lovely friend Kelly. And I'm down to 177 stitches in my row now, so this is really coming on. And I have made some, I mean, it looks like you make decent progress on it because the rows get shorter. So the last time you saw it will be where my little ice cream is. So can we see the ice cream? Where is the ice cream? Can you see the ice cream? Oh no, where is the ice cream? Hello, ice cream, where are you? There you are. Right, it was there. So I've done all that since I last spoke to you. Definitely gone through a green phase on this one. Sort of more of an olive colour in the middle there. And then that was quite bluey, which is not in real life. That's interesting. Yeah. So these are all Woolly Goodness yarns. They are on her sparkle base, which is my favourite base of hers. I love her sparkle base. And I am loving this blanket. The blanket is the Habitation Throw by Curious Handmade. That's the progress I've made on that side. And then that's what the rest of the blanket looks like. It is quite a big blanket actually. It's not going to be small. I'm kind of glad I decided to stop it where I did. So I've got a bit of a thing at the moment where I'm looking at stuff and going, okay, I planned on making that bigger, but does it need to be? No, it doesn't. Whitmore was a case in point. Did that need to be longer? No, it didn't. It was fine where it was. Finish it. And it's the same with this blanket. I sort of picked it up again, and I noticed it. I was like, do you know what? That is definitely big enough just to start decreasing again. So that's what I've done. I've started decreasing, and I've only got a little bit to do now. So that's the length now, which I'm really enjoying. I get a little bit more. I've gone from only getting 2 rows done of a morning to getting 4 rows done in the morning now, so I am kind of whipping through it a little bit more now, and I'm sure that will go up shortly when it gets shorter. But yeah, that's my Habitations rope by Curious Handmade in Woolly Goodness Yarns. I won't say too much because I know you've seen it so many times before. Right, so what have we got next? Journal. So next week I've got a little bit of a treat for you, because my craft, I've done some pretty bits in my craft journal. Basically I've got some washi tape for it and I've made it very pretty. So I thought I'd give you a flip through that next week. Well, that's next week's, because this week, where is it? I have had a spectacular case of double booking myself 3 or 4 times already this year. And partially that's because my daily journal I use is a 3-month journal, so it's fine. If the event is happening in those 3 months, I've got it all out in the beginning on the month. But anything past that I don't really have a record of, and yeah, there's a couple of things I spectacularly double booked myself. Now I have this lovely pouch from Ginny Makes, which I've started using to carry like my work phone and my phone about with me, but in actual fact I have now changed it because I have bought something else. Now my lovely friend Sally, who I went to Unravel with, swears by her Hobonichi weeks, so I thought I'd give it a go. Now I had a Hobonichi cousin last year that I wasn't so keen on. Couple of things. It doesn't work very well with gel pens, so my favourite pens don't work in it. It bleeds through, which is not supposed to. It's supposed to be bleed free paper, but I suppose it doesn't really bleed through, but you can definitely see it through the paper. So yeah, we've hiked out. I have got a really nice one of these biros, which I love because they've got all the different colours on them. And this one's got different colours because it does pink, purple, green and blue. So I've pulled that out and I'm basically filling in, like, so I've got all my months filled in at the beginning so I can quickly look up if I am being an idiot. I'm not double booking myself. I think my favourite one is that I'm going on holiday next week, on the 10th until the 14th, and on the 11th I'm in Kidsania with the brownies. So we've got to come back on the Friday, so we're going to go down on the Friday. It's only in Hythe in Kent, so it's not the biggest journey. We're going to go down, set up the caravan, then we're coming back. I'm spending the night here, going to Kidsania, and then I'm going back down the caravan on the Saturday after we're back from Kidsania. I mean, that was a bit of a melon moment. So I've got everything in there, and then you've got excuse me, so let's see if I've got any fun things. So Socks in the City is on the 22nd of April. I may or may not be attending that, I don't know yet. That will, I think I'll have to call that on the day. It will depend on how my knees are, because there'll be a lot of walking. Then there's a flock on the 13th of May, which I may or may not go to. I'm going to do a Lay Family Yarn workshop with Emma from Vintage Sewing Box. Sorry, that's what it is, the Vintage Sewing Box. On the 1st of July, and then on the 14th of July I'm back there for a Nikki Franklin workshop, so that's cool. I think that was full as well, so looking forward to that. Got the Southern Wool Show in the end of August, beginning of September, which ironically I've written in on the end of August but not in the beginning of September. Might want to change that. Unravel Autumn I'm not going to be able to go to because it's the same weekend as Longleat. although it's not far from where it is. I don't know, we'll see about that one another time. And then I'm on the Woolay retreat on the 17th, 18th and 19th of November. And then, for goodness sake, it's Vlogmas. I mean, insane, isn't it? So at least I've got everything in one place. Then I've got my week that I can kind of set out like that, basically. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with this page yet. I haven't decided whether I'm going to use this for to-do lists or notes, or whether I'm going to make that like a memory page and do like a little spread of what my favourite day that week was, because that sounds like it would be a fun thing to do, and make this slightly more aesthetically pleasing. But I really wasn't going for aesthetics, I was more going for yeah, I need to keep track of my dates. I've got some little tabs to go in it as well, which I may or may not use. Haven't quite decided. That's the only problem when I kind of set up a new journal that I'm not used to. I don't really know what I want to do with it. It takes me a little while to move in properly, as they say. So that's living, let me show you this, oh, on the inside. So that's living in that pocket there. Then that's got a little pocket there that's got room for a couple of pens. That's, I don't know what I use that pocket for, but there's got another pocket there. I've got my inhaler in there, got my pills in there, headphones. I've also got my AirPods there at the top. There's a little notebook in that bit. That's got like sewing notions in it. It's got a, it's got my tape measure, that sort of thing. It's got like a little notions kit in there. Stitch markers, sewing up needles, scissors. So yeah, it's got all sorts of little different pockets. I love this. As I said, this is Gilly Makes. Love the fabric as well on this. Very certain that's a Liberty. Apparently I yapped on a lot long enough that that cut off, so hold on, just need a quick drink. As I was saying, that is my journal section for this week. Next week I will show you my craft journal, which I'm so pleased with. Really enjoying that. Right, Unravel haul. Shall we get started? Oh dear. Oh dearie me. So please bear in mind that there is also the hide and hammer bag and the basket and the other yarn. So I'm going to wander through this in no particular order because it's just going to come out in the order it's in. First of all, from the knitting gift shop, I bought this little notions pouch. It's got a little sheep on the outside. Inside we have got wooden needle case with needles. A little spiral cable needle. A tape measure. And a pair of snips. So this is going down the caravan, and it is living down the caravan, so that I might just stick some stitch markers in there actually. So that's going to go down the caravan, it's going to stay down the caravan, and then I will always have something down there if I manage to forget anything, which is a possibility. Other things I've bought, I have got 2 pairs of 3.75 Chalgo needles, which are for my Jen Stein gas jumper. There are others in here I'm thinking too, because that's not the only ones I got. I bought, here we go. So this is the same Dragon Hill Studio base. This is called Peachy. And again, it's the 70% alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere lace weight that I'm using for Meg's Perec. And I bought some fleece from the Little Grey Girl, which I just think is going to be so much fun to see how that works up with that. It's going to look lovely, isn't it? And yeah, looking forward to that one. So that's my one, my next one. So I had two skeins of that, and that's called Burnaby. There we go. And then I bought a sweater's quantity of DK yarn, which is 75% superwash merino nylon, and which is and her Amaryllis colourway from Fruitful Fusion. So I've got 5 skeins of this, and I just loved how beautiful the speckles were, and oh, so lovely. It reminds me of my Flower Crown one, but with a paler grey base. I mean, it's sort of a grey, it's not really an undyed, it's sort of a grey brown base almost that it's on. And yeah, it just reminds me a little bit of the Flower Crown colourway, which I love. So that's probably going to be an understated, if I'm honest. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I always buy 5 skeins of this, and then I normally end up only using 4. But I have got 5 skeins of. I always think if I only bought 4, I'd panic. So I always get 5, and then I'm like, I definitely didn't. In fact, I'm fairly certain I've got 2 skeins of the Flower Crown left over. So I must have bought more than 5 of that one. But there we go. So that's that one. And then from the lovely Camels yarn, this is Turkish Delight on her standard socks. That's a 75 superwash merino nylon. I bought a EDT quantity. There's a definite peachy theme to my purchases. I think it was my friend Kate who pointed that out. I was like, yep, definitely on brand there. But yeah, I love that. So that is her beautiful. I must say her labels are just gorgeous. This is actually a material, and yeah, that's the base. So it's got delicately speckled, and it's these peaches and pinks, which I adore. And yeah, so that's an ED. What else have we got in here? We have yet another bag, which is a little grey girl. I do like the little grey girl triangle bags, and I'd rather liked this owl pattern. So Hayley, if you're watching, show Talia it's yet another owl. When she was here, she was spotting the owls. Didn't realise I had quite so many, but yeah, new owl like this. This is beautiful. I don't think Katie's going to be watching this. Kate, if you happen to be watching this, don't look for a minute. I bought this to go from Ira to her mummy because I just think it's brilliant. Yeah, this is from Tilly Flop. Yeah, so that's Ira's going to be giving that to her mummy. Then I bought these, which are little face. These are so soft on the other side. Little face wipes, like makeup wipes from Fruitful Fusion, which I'm all about trying to reuse and not use cotton wool and things. So love those. I got this one from Creative Anarchy, We Choose to Love, which is a 75% merino, 20% nylon, 5% gold stellina. It's really pretty, which is not going to show up on camera, I don't think, how much the gold sort of highlights the colours. But it's ever so pretty. I think this is going to have to, there was a little bit of a sparkle there a minute ago. I think this is going to have to be socks for me. I love the colours so much. This is a new to me dye. I hadn't heard of her before until I went to Unravel. I always like trying somebody new when I'm doing these things. So that's her label, Creative Anarchy. And that's the other side. And yeah, I love that. So nice. I'm really sorry about the background noises. There is so much going on here with decorating and everything else. What have we got in there? Oh yeah, this is, I liked these. It's from Buttoned Up. And I might put these in that, down the caravan actually. So these are stitch markers. I like dropping because I've dropped them more than one occasion. And they were her rainbow set. can't get them to turn round. Apparently not. Apparently no matter what I do, they want to stay. Right, okay, I'll give up. It's a rainbow set, so let's see if I can't just do it individually. So there's that one. That one. So these are made of clay. Very pretty. I did drop them on Unravel and they did not break. Only I could drop them, honestly. And then there's that one. Yeah, I really like those. They're really pretty. As I said, that's from Buttoned Up. And then my last purchase is a Tilly Flop purchase. So, oh no it's not. It's a, I got those for a start. That's from Coastal Colours. Was some hand dyed embroidery threads, which I thought were really pretty. So I've got some hand dyed embroidery threads. As I said, that's from Coastal Crafts. And in here I actually bought some cards, but I don't know where they've gone. Maybe they'll turn up in my other my other basket at some point. But I bought a new craft journal. Tilly Flop has a different colour cover out. It's the project planner one as opposed to the knitting planner, so it's exactly the same as layout as mine, with the details on that page and the plain page that side, which I love, as you know. As I said, I will give you a flip through the one that I've got on the go at the moment next week. I think it will do much. I'm not certain, but I think it will. I'm just annoyed about those cards. I'm guessing they must be. I hope I haven't left them behind. That'll be upsetting. I think it will do much. I think we should be quite good, because if they go 3 monthly, that would be quite useful, wouldn't it? But we will see. We will see. It might do a little bit more than 3 months. Oh, my other needles aren't in here either. That's interesting. I think they must be over there. I think that must have been, I must have got them mixed up and put them in the other podcast basket. That's fine. You can see that next week. But yeah, that's my little Unravel haul. Right, so what have we got to talk about? Unravel debrief. That was interesting. So on the I went on the Friday with Sally and I went on the Sunday with my lot, and on the Friday it was manic. It was really busy. It was really quiet to start with, which was lovely, and then about 11 o'clock it got really busy, and I think Sally and I went home about 2, and I definitely had enough by then. It was unpleasantly busy. However, obviously all the stockists were very well stocked. Went back on the Sunday and it wasn't anywhere near as busy. It was very pleasant, but there was definitely some colourways that people had sold out of. A lot of people who had bespoke Unravel colourways had sold out of their Unravel colourways. But then, as I was saying to somebody yesterday, Kate, I was saying to my friend Kate yesterday, if you didn't know they were there, would you be that upset that you'd missed them? I don't know. I love that Bird Street colourway, but I love it because I saw it on the stall and I had the chance to purchase it. Had I not seen it, I wouldn't have known about it, so who knows. But I think I definitely in future would prefer to go on the Sunday to the Friday, unless there was something desperate I wanted to get. If there's something desperate you want to get, then yeah, I think you do need to go like Friday or Saturday, but or at least contact the maker and go, can you save it to me for Sunday? I have a new Hide and Hammer bag addiction. That came out of the blue. I do love that bag. My girls have bought me one for Mother's Day, which I will show you after Mother's Day, which I love. Right, what's next on my list? Crofties, tidy up and pack up. So at the moment I am both tidying up in here and packing up bits and pieces that I think I can live without until we move. There has been a couple of things I've sort of looked at and went, oh, what if I need that? But I'm not going to know if I'm going to need that. So you have to kind of take a bit of a leap of faith and go, right, well, I'm going to pack that. And I guess, unless it's a large purchase, I'll just have to buy another one. In that scenario, it was a empty notebook. And the brain was like, well, what if I need it? I might need an empty notebook. I mean, I have a journal for pretty much every part of my life, so I can't imagine why I would need a notebook, but hey-ho. So anyway, it's got packed, and at the end of the day, I'll just buy another one if I need one. I am enjoying it being tidier. However, getting it ready for someone to come and kind of view the room just seems such a mission. I've got like one area that's ready, just like the bookcase. That's done. Although it was the worst area, so progress in that respect. There's a lot of stuff on the top that actually can just go, because I don't need to keep that out. That can go away. Like my next mission with my daughter next week, so Kate's coming over to help, is to get in the cupboard, because a lot of the stuff I want to keep could go in the cupboard and then it would be kind of neatly not on show. So what I actually need to do is pack the stuff that's in the cupboard, which I don't need, so that I can keep the stuff that I do need in the cupboard. So that's the plan for next week. We are currently decorating the hall. When I say decorating, the kids are doing it. They're doing an amazing job. Looks really good. It's just magnolia, plain and simple, with some white ceiling. But it does look much better for a fresh coat of paint, so that's been done. But it does mean you've got to go the long way round, so out through the lounge and into the hall, because you can't go through the kitchen door. That's fun. Interesting problem, but it's sorted. Today, as I said, we're going out for a meal with my father-in-law, so I'm recording my podcast now with the view of editing it until we leave, and then editing it when we get back, and then I'll be able to hopefully put it out before I go to bed tonight. That's the date. The aim. I don't think I'm going to get a 12 days of Christmas video shot this week. I did try to do one last week before Unravel and it never happened, so work is just a little bit too involved for me to do these things now. Next week I'm away in a caravan, so I'm going to attempt to take what I need to podcast with me, and see if I can do a caravan podcast. I was about to say they might not be quite as professional as these ones. This wasn't professional either, so who knows. That's a point actually. I might do the craft journal flick through at least. I'll pre-record that, because I could do with using the overhead camera, which I won't have with me at the caravan. So I might pre-record that. There's an argument to say I should do that now, but I'm not going to. I need to get this edited. But I think that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry it's probably yet another long one. I do seem to rabbit on about nothing, don't I? Thank you for sticking with me. I'm so grateful to you all, and the lovely people who comment. Please do, I never do this, but please do like, subscribe, comment. It does get the channel out there. It does get the channel noticed, which I really appreciate. I like growing the channel. Yeah, let me know what you're working on down in the comments. Let me know what your current favourite project or obsession is. Doesn't even have to be knitting related. If your current obsession is a book you're reading, let me know what you're reading. So yeah, just let me know down in the comments anything that you're doing and reading, and I will do my best to get back to you all. I always read your comments, and if you get a little heart, you know that I've read it. And if you ask me a question, I try to get back to you. So, you know, questions down below. I don't do show notes, but I do, I will respond to questions, and I have got a book with all my podcasts in it from the start of the year, so I can go back and look up stuff if you need me to. I'm quite happy to do that. So I hope you're all okay wherever you are. Take care, and I will hopefully see you next week.